Let's bring in Matt Schlapp now to talk about it. Okay, Matt, who on earth in their right mind in this day and age where everything can be checked would kind of fudge the old resume there? Should Santos resign? What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, we have precedent for this. We have Elizabeth Warren is in the United States Senate. She famously embellished her background of being a Native American. We have Joe Biden, who ran for president in 1988 and famously embellished the fact that he got a scholarship to go to law school and he finished at the top of his class and got awards, and all that turned out to be untrue. And he had to quit the presidential race because he lied about his resume. So lying about your resume is wrong. It was wrong of George Santos to do that. I do think it was smart of him to at least acknowledge the fact that he was that he had these lies that he put out there on the campaign trail. But here's the real question, Ashley. In a republic like ours, who gets to make the choice? Is it the voters who just sent him to Congress with something like an 8 percentage point victory? Some of this was swirling in his campaign. His Democratic opponent isn't questioning the outcome of the result. Or do the smart set in D.C. and Congress get to override the will of the voters? It seems to me that people that believe in democracy should say, look, we elect all kinds of people to Congress. The voters decide. He'll be up for re-election again in 2 years, or the voters can recall him. But that's the real question. Do the voters decide, or do the people in Congress decide?
All right, we'll move on from that. Matt, I want to get into this issue because I find it interesting. Republican leaders urging their base to be less skeptical of early and mail-in voting after their, well, losses during the midterms. You know, Matt, they relied heavily on in-person voting. And you could argue and it backfired. Do you think this is a good strategy, more emphasis on early voting?
You know, Ashley, I've done a lot of work in elections, so has my wife, Mercy. And the fact is this, the Democrat Party is wired to succeed better when you ballot harvest and essentially vote for other people, because Republicans just don't like that. They think it's immoral. They don't like that piece. But we got to follow these laws, even in blue states, to the hilt, and we have to do what they do. So we should be encouraging people to vote early, because look what happened in Arizona. If you wait till Election Day always to vote, when you have 30% of the machines down in Maricopa County, a lot of thousands of people in Arizona couldn't vote. So this happens when you wait till Election Day. Sometimes things come up like travel or something else that you can't control. So early voting, there's a need for it, and Republicans need to have programs for ballot harvesting, for early voting, for everything the Democrats are doing. Or here's the problem, Ashley, the Republican Party, if it doesn't adapt, can it win at the national level? And if it can't win, we're going to see this country in the grips of socialism forever and ever. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get as many people to vote against socialism as possible.
Right. Fight fire with fire, as they say. Matt Schlapp, thank you so much, Matt, for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.